We're going to do a quick live while we get prepared for the live stream today. Usually they're at like 10. That's the wrong bag. It's not going to do me any good. It's my go bag for my truck. Usually we do a live stream / podcast every day on Rumble, or not every day, every Saturday on Rumble and X. And we were gone all week for SHOT Show. So we are going to hop on and do a recap of SHOT Show, how that all went. We've got a bunch of new products down here that came throughout the week that we're going to talk about. But I figured I'd just hop on here on live. A lot of times I like to jump on here first before I go live on Rumble, just to remind everybody that we do them on Rumble. We were able to actually do a lot more there, talk about more, show off a lot more. For those of you that are new from all the SHOT Show content, we've got a handful of new subscribers from that. Welcome. I hope you guys enjoy what we're doing here. And I'd love you to check out all the content that I do. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm just trying to get my setup prepared here. I'm trying to recoup from SHOT Show. So we flew back in. We got in a little early, so we got in just around midnight. So we were pumped because we thought we were going to get home a little earlier because the airport's about 2 hours away from our house. So we were excited because we thought we were going to get home early. But we sat at the carousel, like the thing with the our luggage, our package stuff, for 40 minutes. We waited. I was so annoyed. So we waited 40 minutes for our stupid luggage to come out because for some reason it just didn't turn on. There was like 4 different flights all there waiting. So we didn't get out of there until like almost 1, which really stunk. So then we didn't get to bed till like 3 o'clock. So we were exhausted, of course, on the way back. My name is Jeff. What's up, Jeff? Hey, crackhead. Hi. Installed an FRT trigger on my AR rifle. Nice, that's cool. Was CMG a SHOT Show? Did they have anything new? So SHOT Show, this was a weird year for me. So usually, and I don't ever want to do SHOT Show like this again because I think I don't think I was able to get as much done as I would have liked to. So I did almost like no walking because I was trying to plan meetings and stuff. And it got to the point where I had too many meetings to where I wasn't able to actually do any walking. So the first day we had a little bit of walking. And also this is the first year that my wife came. So I also had way less interest in being at the show. Because usually like it's just me and Josh. So like just going to the show is what we do. But like with Kayla and his wife came. So with the girls being there, like we really honestly just wanted to hang out with them. So we went out hiking and stuff. So we did a lot less work than I normally do. And a lot more play, which was nice. It was fun. It was a really good time to hang out with the girls out there. It made Vegas so much more fun because Vegas is not our scene. Like we don't drink, we don't gamble, so it's not really like the craziest thing that we want to go do. But yeah, we won't do because we did like 3 meet and greets the one day, and that takes like 3 to 4 hours because you got to be at the booth for an hour, you know. And then we did, I think, 15 to 16 videos. So those take you usually like 20 minutes to a half hour. So that took a while. And then the rest of the time, we just had like actual meetings. So one of the good meetings that went through was Canik. We're going to be working with Canik now. So we'll be getting their guns pre-release, which is a lot of the times what I do at SHOT Show is I try to meet up with these brands and to be able to get new product in early. So last year we were able to get Smith & Wesson and stuff, which was a really good one. And then this year we got Canik, Century Arms. We got a handful of other really good companies. You never know until after the show, honestly, because like at the show, everyone's super nice and they're like, yeah, this is what we want to do. We'd love to work with you. And then after the show, you email them and you don't hear anything back from them. So it's always cool, but it's nice to see people in person. That's always the way to go. Gunman, what up, fam? How we doing, Thomas? How we doing? you get a chance to check out the Staccato HD. So Staccato's booth was massive. Like, I think it was bigger than Aimpoint's booth. I didn't even swing by it. Like, I try to avoid the booths that are like shoulder to shoulder people because I have zero interest. Like, I will see their stuff somewhere else. Like, I try my best not to get sick there. And this year, fingers crossed, I'm not sick. And I didn't get sick. I always try my best not to get sick. And like the quickest way to get sick is just to run in there and start touching everything. So like I try not to touch all the stuff. I don't really care to touch all the little guns they have sitting around because you like when you're watching, you're sitting there from the halls watching, like you see dudes just coughing and hacking and snotting and rubbing their nose and grabbing the guns and then talking to their buddies about it and then hacking on the guns and they set it back down and the next guy grabs it and it's like, ugh. It really takes the interest of wanting to touch everything away when that happens. But no, I did not stop by Staccato's booth. They're always just so gosh dang busy. I should have went down. I think they were at one of the range days I was at because we went to 3 range days. Again, that was, I mean, we were like the busiest we've ever been, but at the same time, like I would say at the show was one of the busiest we've been with like work and stuff, but like after the show was the least busy because we just hung out with the girls, which was fun. But we went to 3 range days the first day. So we went to the media day till noon, and then we took a bus to another range day. We were there till 3, and then we took another bus to another range day, and we were there till like 5. And then we left that, went home, watched some of the national championship, got ready super quick, and then went to the Gundies, found out kind of late that I was going to host one of the segments at the Gundies, so had to run there. Everyone else like went through like pre-runs at like 5:30, so I wasn't there. By the time I got there like 6:30, so we had to run in and they had to run through like what I was going to say and like my cues and when I was going to go out. So I was really late to all that, so that kind of stunk. So I had to like rush and figure out what I was doing, but that all went well. The Gundies went really good, and then we went home and went right back into the show. So are those real guns or airsoft? They are very real. Never be afraid to. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna read that one. AK-47 or M16? I'd choose M16. So that means you should get that new Canic Prime gun. Yeah, the new Canic Prime gun. I will be getting that. So it releases in March. They said I'd be getting it probably about a month early. So, and that's honestly the pre-release stuff is one of the best things I can do, I think, for the channel, is just because it allows me to get a gun a month ahead of schedule. And so I can shoot it, I can test it, I can get my opinion on it, and then I can film a video for the actual release date. And I have a really good idea of the product. You know, it's not like I get the gun the day of the release date and then I'm trying to bust out a video because I don't think I can give you guys my honest feedback with like 8 hours with a gun. So I try to like get them early. So yeah, I'll be getting that new handgun probably about a month early. And the nice thing is since they've already released it and like everybody already knows about it, they don't really care if like you get content on it. They aren't like, because some people are like, oh, you have to embargo it for a long time. They don't care if I release product information about it. Glock 17 or 1911, Glock 17. Why do you have so many guns? Because I work with a lot of the companies and I do a lot of pre-release testing for brands. So when like a gun gets released, they send it to me to test. So like right there, that red one that you see behind me, that's a Dan Wesson DWX. So like when it was getting built and made, they sent it to me early to be able to check out and test and then give feedback on. So like a lot of the guns, they'll send me a little bit early. Some will be at the time, some will be early. It just depends. Depends on the brand and the company and what they want to do. So that's why I have so many. Should I get the SIG MCX? Sure, it's a great gun. It's really good. They're expensive, but they work really well. I actually shot a full auto 308 SIG Spear at the show. That was really fun. I like that. I tried to burn it down without stopping the whole time. And I got pretty far. I ended up not being able to do too many because you obviously don't want to fall over. Did shoot a 308 full auto standing up is not wildly easy, but it was awesome. It was really, really cool. Let's see. So for those of you that are new or just came on here, I'm setting up the podcast setup here. So I'm getting the mixer and all this stuff and the camera's ready. So we do a live stream podcast every Saturday, usually at 10 a.m. Eastern. This one's probably gonna be a little late, but we do it on Rumble and X. And we're gonna be going over all the new products. So I got a bunch of products down here on the floor that just came in this week while we were gone. So we're going to do like an unboxing of all new products. We're going to be talking about the SHOT Show recap and probably some stuff with Trump and the things that he did already and some of the things that he's going to do. But we always just do quick updates of everything, what's going on, and they're always fun. So I'd love for you guys to come out. And the best part about it is like I can pull the things that are behind me. I'm able to pull those down and actually show you on Rumble and stuff. So it's a lot more fun. Have you shot the new SIG LMG? I have not. What's the biggest gun you have? Like weight-wise or like caliber-wise? Because we're getting a 50 BMG built for us right now. We actually met the guy that was doing it out at SHOT Show again, and he gave me the update. So it's in the process of being built. We just got to wait for it to come in. So it was supposed to be late last year. We're supposed to get it in, but he had a bunch of orders that came in, so he pushed that one obviously to the side, which totally understand because he needs to focus on his customers first. But a 50 BMG will be coming in here. What's my everyday carry? Glock 45 with a Radian Ramjet. What optic do you recommend for rifle, mid to close range? Are you looking like specific, or are you looking about just like red dot? I would say red dot is the best thing for that close to mid range, and you could throw a magnifier. But if you're looking like specific, I need to know a lot more information, like price point and stuff like that. One of the best things you can do is jump on my Rumble live stream or X live stream and ask, because then I can pull all the stuff off the walls and actually show you the different setups and show you which one's the best. And I can give you guys ways to save as well, which I can't do here. 45 or 9mm, I choose 9mm. You sell them? No, I do not. I do not sell anything. P90? Yeah, no, that's my dream gun. Love that gun. What was the coolest thing at the show? There was a lot of really cool things. There was these 2011s that take Glock mags that were like at $1,200. Those were super cool. I really liked them. I was really interested in that because I think everybody's really into the 2011 thing right now. Like, it's a really popular style. And the fact that it takes Glock mags is really cool because if it functions properly, then everybody and their mother has Glock mags, and they're way more affordable than 2011 mags. So it's just a really sharp looking gun, plus the fact that it has that as a benefit. So that was one of the more interesting. I really liked the aim point COA, maybe. I don't know why I don't like the name, but COA. It's silly. But I thought that was cool. I got to shoot that at the range, which was neat because I didn't even know they had a range at SHOT Show. Like, that's like they have the media day at the range, but at the actual like Venetian, there's a shooting range. Like, I did not know that. It was pretty cool. So we shot that there, and that was the very first thing we saw the whole week. I just like it because it's new, it's different. They're trying to innovate, which is cool. Like, it's not like the most exciting product, but it's definitely new and different. Primary Arms has a really cool new red dot. Nepro Light has some great offerings. They have new LPVOs. So they're kind of cool. There's a bunch of stuff. Again, I unfortunately, tell you what, I had too many like meetings to be able to appreciate the show, which makes me kind of sad. But that's like one of the best things about SHOT Show is being able to meet these companies in person, meet the people you've been working with, or get to meet them for the first time. Because face-to-face interaction, I think personally, is the best way you can do it. So for me, I love it. But I think next year what I'm going to do is I'm going to contract somebody, probably my brother, because he goes to show every year with me. I'll probably contract him and another guy to go and do all the filming. Like, film all the, like, hey, what's this product? Do those videos for me. And then I'll do, like, the meet and greets and the meetings. Because this year, like I said, the 3 meet and greets took, like, 4 hours. So that took 4 hours out of my time. And it was great. I love doing those, and it's really fun. But I'm not able to, like, walk the show and get content and stuff if I'm sitting there at one booth for that long. And then, but it was cool because we released that gun. We released that thing from Brownell, so that was really fun. But then you add the filming, that takes hours, and then you add the meetings, and then you just don't have time to walk the show. So this year I really noticed I didn't walk the show as much, and that was the one thing that I wish I would have done better. So next year's gonna be different. I think I'm gonna have Josh and someone else go film while I do the meet and greets, and then I can do the meetings too, and then have a full day of just walking. Home defense 50 grain 9mm, good for home defense. Depends on how your gun shoots and the different ammo. I would show you, but I can't show you here on YouTube. What do you think is better, Glock 17 or 19? I prefer 17, more round capacity. It's a little bit larger, easier to control, but it depends on your case and what you're using it for. If you're using it for concealed carry, obviously the Glock 19 is going to be a little bit better. Curious as how you get away with showing firearms. It's because they're hanging out. So like I'm not allowed to touch anything. So that's like if you guys are on my Rumble live stream, we're actually like holding everything. I could show you. Like if you're like, hey, what's that optic setup? And I'd pull it down, I'd show you. Here I can't do that. As long as it's there, we're fine. We're good to go. So it took me like, I did like 3 weeks of these lives to like figure that out. So the first one I got banned within 10 minutes and like it locked me out of lives. The next one I was good. So I started like adding things. So I removed everything off there and then I did another live and I was good. And then I added them back on and I did another live and I was fine. So as long as they're there, you're good to go. I just can't touch them, which is not what I'm doing. So I'm setting up my podcast setup. So we're good to go. So it makes these lives not as fun, but unfortunately we have to follow the rules. So what's the two-tone 1911 with a red dot on the wall? That is a Springfield. It's a Springfield Ronin is what that one is. Cool firearms. Thank you so much. What's the coolest gun and take off the wall and show me? Can't. Unfortunately, the rules. So if you guys want to see that, if you want to ask that question on Rumble, I'd gladly show you. And there's some pretty sweet ones. But unfortunately, I can't do it here. Finger grooves or no? I always say no finger grooves. If you could find a gun that fits your hand with finger grooves and you like it, then good to go. But the problem is finger grooves, it's not a one size fits all. Like normally you're going to find one, you're going to be like, these kind of stink for me. But the next person's going to be like, these things are awesome. So I'm always indifferent on finger grooves. If I had the choice between the two, I would always say no, just because you're taking away a handful of people that their hands are all different. So some people are going to like it, some people are going to love it. So I would say no finger grooves if I had the choice. But I will say, if I find a gun that I really like the finger grooves on, and I'm like, man, this fits my hand well, then I really like finger grooves. And I would say it's the superior grip if I were to make one molded to my hand. But the problem is if you're making like a gun molded for everybody, trying to find the best gun for everyone, it's not the best way to go. Heck of a collection, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Did you look at the Naboo 100 parts kit at SHOT Show? I did not. Again, I just did not get enough walking time to see the new products. I went and met all the companies I work with. I met a handful of new companies that I'm going to be working with. So that was a great time. It was really cool to meet those people. But I wasn't able to see all the cool like little things that, there's always these like secret gems at SHOT Show. Like you'll be walking and you'll be like, you always take a second look at something. You're like, okay, that's really cool. And like people might not have covered it because no one saw it yet. And then like, there's always secret gems. Do you have a Ruger American 2? I have a handful of Ruger Americans. I don't know if it's the 2. I'd have to look. Looking to buy or build my first AR. What would you recommend in $600 to $900 range? Do you have any tips? Yeah, so ask that question on my Rumble live stream, and I have a ton that I'd love to share with you. I can't get into too much detail here, or I can get in trouble. But yeah, no, if you ask that on my Rumble live stream, which I'm going to start here after I do this live, it'll probably be around 10, 11 o'clock that live stream will be. I'm on Rumble and X, so you can join on either one. If you ask that question there, I'll pull some things down. I'll show you guys the exact setups that I would go with and give you recommendations. I just can't do it here because it'll kick me off. John Wick Jr., not quite. Thank you for the content you put out. What's your thoughts on the loophole 2 to 10 for the new CMR mill reticle? I think it's sweet. I like those smaller magnification optics. I like my favorite's 2.5 to 20 because that's such a wide variety. You got that 2.5, so you're able to shoot up close. You're able to really gather a lot of information because you can pull back, but you can go up to 20, which I think is plenty of magnification. You don't need like 40, 60 magnification. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. I bought a Dagger C1. I'm hesitant to carry it. I normally EDC a Glock 19 like a basic girl. So I would just make sure you go out, shoot like a solid amount of ammo that you're comfortable with shooting before you think that gun's good, and then take your carry ammo that you're going to shoot and shoot that. So I know they have a lot of issues with like firing pins breaking. I've had a couple people that I know that have had issues with that. So just really make sure you're putting the ammo through it and testing it before you put that into the rotation. Howdy, how we doing? I've been booted. That's why I asked. Only reason. No troll here. Yeah, no, you should be good. As long as everything's hanging there, you're fine. Like I said, I did a bunch of testing to try to figure out exactly the way I can and cannot do things. Yeah, don't touch. Talk about prices or where to get them. Yeah, exactly. Like I can't go into too much detail. Like it's really annoying because like I want to obviously give you guys as much information as possible, but I can't because of the rules. So like some people get annoyed because they're like these lives, like you're not saying anything. You're like beating around the bush. Like why are you doing that? It's because I'm just not allowed. Like because YouTube's rules and everything make it really, really tricky. If I say the wrong thing, it kicks me off. So, and then I lose the ability to do stuff like going live. So that's why I'm setting, like, as you can see here, I'm setting up this entire live stream. This is for Rumble and X, where those platforms let me say whatever the heck I want. It's completely freedom of speech. So I would love for you guys to hop over there. The last live stream we did, where I did a YouTube live first, we had a bunch of people from YouTube come over, which was really fun. And they were able to ask all the questions they were asking here, and then I can show it off. So it's just it's a much different platform. And what's really nice is I don't have to, like right now I'm like constantly thinking about the things I can and can't say. Like I'm like, I don't want to read every comment because I'm afraid if I say it, like the one guy was asking about which one he recommends. So I'm like, oh shoot, I can't say that because if I do, then they think I'm talking about pricing. So like you just got to be a lot more careful. So on Rumble, I can just say whatever I want and not have to think about it. So that's kind of fun. CG Shadow, both versions. I don't know what that means. I'd imagine that those YouTube rules are going to change soon. I'm hoping. So I know Meta's changing, and I personally, so my Facebook has had, it's like roughly around 396,000 followers, and it has been just, like my freaking views have been down really bad. But then suddenly, since this whole Meta thing, I've noticed my views have gone up. My Instagram has gone up a ton. Like I woke up this morning and I gained, I think like 168 followers over the night. That never happened before. Like I was not gaining that many followers. Like I've always gained, there's always positive growth, but like that's a lot of growth over the night when I didn't post anything. I posted yesterday, like earlier in the day, but like and like usually you'll get a boost growth when you post something and it gets shared, but never like through the night. Like, you know, I don't usually wake up to like 12, 16, 20, but like 160 some, like that was a lot. So I've noticed that a lot lately is my Instagram and my Facebook. Any Meta products has been growing significantly more because I think they're taking away those walls that they've been blocking people. Looks like a CZ Shadow. Yeah, I have Dan Weston DWX, the TS2, and then the CZ Shadow over there. I don't think you can see that one. Are you a lefty? No, I'm a righty. It's probably inverted. Do you have any other Rossi brand? I do. I would show you, but I cannot show you here. So if you want to ask on Rumble, I'll show you. It's actually a really, really cool one. Can I see the 1911? Nope. If you want to join my Rumble and X, I can show you guys there. I can't show you guys here. It has to stay up there. I'm not allowed to handle anything. So if you guys want to see that stuff, ask those questions. I would be more than happy to pull everything down on the Rumble and X live stream and show you. I'm not a lefty. It's probably because the camera's inverted. Good morning, Zach. This is Jay. I was wondering on your Rumble, do you have a part list, the John Wick that you built to a shotgun? I would like to build one using the buttstock that I won. Yeah, so I'm jumping on X and Rumble here soon. Ask me that question there. I'll pop it down and I'll show you all the parts and pieces that I use for it. He has more firearms than John Wick. How could he be a junior? No touching, no prices, and no website. Yep, you got it, dude. Unfortunately, I'll make you my moderator because you got it down. Do I still work for the sheriff's department? Yes, I do. I'm still a full-time deputy sheriff. That is my full-time job. I just do this part-time, but this is very quickly becoming a full-time job just because of the amount of time and everything it takes to do all this, which is a good thing. I really like this. I love this job. This is my dream job. This is what I want to do. So I could see, you know, at some point in the future, this being my full-time job. As of right now, I think God has me at the sheriff's office for a reason. I think my time there is not done yet. I'm able to, I'm able to be in a lot of situations that I normally wouldn't be in. I'm able to interact with people in their lives and situations that I would never have if I wasn't a sheriff's deputy. I've been able to really have a lot of great conversations with people. I've been able to share my faith and talk about God and all these things in these different situations that I would never be in if I wasn't there. If I was working full time here on YouTube, that would give me a ton of time with my family. That would give me a lot more extra time because I work full time as 42 hours a week. And then I'm on some extra things for the sheriff's department. So, you have trainings, you have a lot of other things. I get called out. I'm in a position that I can get called out on. So I have call outs. So usually there's more hours than that. Usually I add another 10 to 20 hours a month for trainings and other qualification stuff that I got to do. So I would have a ton more time. I'd probably be able to double my content, but I would be stuck here. I would be in this office all the time, and I wouldn't be out interacting with people in these crazy situations that I would never be able to have if I wasn't at the sheriff's office. So for me, after praying a lot about it, I think God has put me at the sheriff's office for a reason for now. I think eventually, he will be like, okay, your time here's done. Go do your thing, because I can obviously reach a lot of people about my faith and about a lot of really cool things here as well because of the platform. But it's really different when I can interact with people personally and in person on different calls. It's very annoying, man. I simply showed mine on the bench one time and live, and they booted me. Totally sucks. Yeah, no, me too. So I didn't even actually grab it. The one time I went up to it and I got really close to it. So I was holding the camera and it booted me, and it cut me from live to work for a day. It was 24-hour ban. Man, you really want to know if I'm a lefty? I'm not a lefty. Just use PSA parts for your first build, or you can build your Firearm and go all out. I've built 50 or 60 of them using all the manufacturers, your options, really good in your price range. You have patience, young grasshopper. G45 MOS or Beretta 92X, which is better? I prefer the Glock, but it's going to come down to the personal preference. How are you working at the sheriff's office how is working at the sheriff's office and being a YouTuber? They kind of go hand in hand, honestly, because a lot of I carry a firearm every day. So for me, I'm able to share my experience in the sense of is this something I would trust my life with? And that was something when we did our first search warrant into a house because we run dynamic and stuff. So it was really interesting feeling the first time I had my rifle set up, and I was before I was thought okay, these are the parts that I want. These are the things that Instagram has shown me. And then I went to my first search warrant, and we were about to enter the house, and I kept looking at my gun and being I always thought about how I would save money or how I would this looks cool or this does this. And it's once you're about in that situation, you really quickly realize what actually matters. I was okay, half of this stuff isn't that important. And since my first search warrant to today, my rifle has changed a lot. And then we got called out for an active shooter at my son's school. And after that changed a lot about my rifle too, because it makes you realize the important things, the not important things. It also made me realize spare no expense for that kind of rifle. Obviously just something you go out to the range and plink with, who cares? Do whatever you want. The parts aren't as important. But in that situation, in that role, I really quickly realized that, holy crap, spending the extra money on the good stuff really does matter. So that has been a really cool collaboration between the two, I think, because I'm actually out there using this stuff. I mean, it's not an everyday thing. As a sheriff deputy, you do really I have a video that I made that I can't post because it's a body cam footage. When I retire, I'll probably post it. But it's kind of what people think I do. And it was a call that we went to where we went hands-on. We had to fight a guy because he was trying to run into stuff, so we had to throw him out and arrest him. And then it was what I actually do. And it was me with a lasso. And I was swinging the lasso, and I threw it on a horse because it was a loose horse call. And I just went and lassoed the horse, and we had to put him back in the cage. So it's just funny because a lot of people think a lot of what we do is just fighting people and doing a lot of that stuff, which it's not. Some agencies, yeah, if I worked in Detroit or Columbus or Cleveland, these crazy places where you're going from fight call to fight call to fight call, yeah, probably. But I'm a rural deputy. We do that, yes, but I'm helping somebody that fell or somebody that is lost or tires blown or domestic disputes or a neighbor disputes. That we're doing that a lot more. So there's definitely a miscommunication sometimes with that kind of stuff. You need a mod? Yeah, eventually I probably will. I don't really understand the moderator stuff, but I should look into that. But the only downside to working with the sheriff's office and YouTube is the fact that time-wise, like I'll work like a 10.5-hour, 12-hour shift, and then I come home and then I have to work another 2-3 hours here in the office to get my content done, meetings and filming. So, but that would be any job. It's just kind of difficult to do that. But have you any good recommendations for AR-15? If you're asking for recommendations or anything, shoot me over on the Rumble and X live stream, and I can show you and give you all the recommendations. I just can't do it here on YouTube. He's gonna have to answer that a million times. Yeah, no, I feel like I have answered it a million times. If you're looking for recommendations on like PCCs and stuff, you're gonna have to jump onto the Rumble and X live stream. I can't give enough. So the problem is I can give you like a super watered down answer, but I can't like give you a legitimate answer here, or it'll kick me. Nice collection, thank you. What's your favorite gun? That one right there. It's my dream gun. Oh, the left-handed bolts. Yeah, it's just because it's all inverted. Nice DWX. You have yes, that one is right there. The S2C. How do you find time for church and family? So that is a priority. So church and family is a priority, and that is something. So I almost quit my job late last year because it was getting to the point where it was taking away time from my family. And I always told the sheriff and my wife and everybody, I was like, hey, if this impedes my family time too much, then the sheriff's office is what's going to be the first thing to go. It goes God, family, and well, let me change that. It goes family, and then like all your other stuff, like hobbies and career and all these things. But God is intertwined in all of those things. So a lot of times people are like, oh, it's God first, then this. The way I like to say it is it's family, this, all my other things that I find important. And involved in each one of those things is God. That I have him involved in each. So when it comes to family, that's my number one priority, but I also have a God heavily involved in that as well. So obviously well, not obviously, but my schedule, I have a pretty cool schedule. I don't work weekends because I work a different position at the sheriff's office. I'm on the road, but I'm a specialty position, so I don't have the traditional schedule. I work Monday through Thursday and Monday through Friday, depending on the week, it kind of changes. So, Sundays are for church. We always go to church Sunday. I find a lot of time after work. So my wife is going to be quitting her job here soon. So she homeschools our kids. So our kids are always home. So when I'm home, I'm with them as much as possible. Obviously I'll work all day. So I'll get home usually around like 3:30, 4, depending on the shift. And then I will come in here and work real quick. Or if we're like doing family stuff, then I'll just take the day off, or I'll work when it's like the kids go to bed. It'll be like 8 o'clock. I'll work in here, or like every Fridays are my work day. So I'll work in here every Friday for like 8 hours, and I'll usually try to do all of my content for the week. So, there's ways around it. It's not easy finding that balance of work and church and family life all together is a difficulty for everybody. I don't think a single person doesn't go through that struggle. But you got to find what works best for you and your family. Me and my wife have really found a good balance where she knows when it's time that I have to work. Cause like we've been gone a week. So I have a slew of products sitting here on the floor that all came in. So she knew like, okay, Friday, I didn't do any work. We came back home. Friday was no work. So I didn't work at the sheriff's office. I didn't work tactical advisor. I just wanted to be home with a family. And that's all we did. We just spent time with the boys and Adeline. And it was great. We spent an entire day with them. And so I knew, okay, I'm getting a full day with them today so I can work tomorrow morning. So now I'll work today till about noon, and then I'll have all evening. And then tomorrow we'll go to church, or the next day after that we'll go to church, and then spend the rest of the evening before I start my work week again. And then, like I said, Kayla's going to be quitting here in the next couple weeks probably. So when she does that, she's full-time homeschooling and will be a full-time homemaker. And I'm so excited about that. That is an incredible, exciting thing for our family. So you make all your money from content or from the sheriff's office? So it's like a split. So we live, and this is something I will tell everybody to do, because YouTube and social media is such a weird platform where like some months are like really, really good. Some months are like, oh, that was okay. And some months are like not really good, because you're based off your views, you're basing off the content, you're basing off what the sponsors are paying. So it's so fluctuating in money. It's hard to say like, okay, this is making this every single month. So with the sheriff's office, that is my dedicated revenue. That is what we live off of. So what we plan our budget off of is the sheriff's office. So like we built the house 2 years ago. When we built that, we based that off of what our income was as a family without my business, without Tactical Advisor. Tactical Advisor is just extra money. So when we went to build our barn, we used Tactical Advisor money for that, because that is not associated with our budget. So we were like, okay, as long as we, like, all our vehicles are paid off, so we don't have vehicle payments. The house is the only payment that we have, so I can do that within the sheriff's office budget. Now, say I wanted to buy like another truck, a new truck, or a Corvette or something crazy, and the payment was like another $1,000. That payment would have to fall under the sheriff's office budget. As long as I can afford it within the sheriff's office, we would make that decision as a family and go from there. So I don't base it off of YouTube, because some months it's like, okay, yeah, cool, I could afford an extra $1,000 a month for a fancy Corvette or something really cool. But the next month, maybe I couldn't. Maybe Tactical Advisor didn't make as much that year or that month. So the Tactical Advisor income goes into a separate thing. So it depends. Some months YouTube's better. Some months the sheriff's office is better. I would say that YouTube is consistently the best, but I don't put that into the budget. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like I might have bounced around a little bit with that, but I highly suggest doing that with anybody starting YouTube. Don't ever take that YouTube income and revenue and put it into your normal budget, because what you're going to do, and what a lot of people do and get themselves in bad spots, is like, okay, I make $2,000 a month on YouTube, so that means I can make a much bigger house payment. So I can buy a fancier house. Now my house payment, which would have been $700 a month, I can now make it $2,000 a month. So now you're paying $2,000 a month on your house payment, and then suddenly YouTube's not doing so good. So you drop down to like making only $500 a month on YouTube. And you're $1,500 down, and now you suddenly can't afford your house payment, and now you're kind of freaking out because you're living paycheck to paycheck, and you put yourself in a bad position. So that's something we never want to do. So we don't even take that Tactical Advisor income and use that at the same. Now, we also, because it is like a legitimate business now, last year we turned it into an actual thing. So, excuse me, we do spend a lot to like reinvest into the business. So like you get a lot of equipment, you get a lot of, like we had to get the barn. So that was for storage for all the equipment. So like we had to do a lot of testing for like e-bikes or side-by-sides and stuff like that. So we store all the stuff in the barn, but that's like business purchases. So you're able to afford other things with the business, but what I plan our life with and how we can afford like trips and vehicles or house payments is all under the sheriff's office right now. And that's obviously going to change, because here soon I'm hoping to make this a full-time thing, within the next 3 years. So it's kind of my 3-year goal. Excuse me, I had to blow my nose, sorry. But that is the end goal, is within 3 years, I think I would like to make this a full-time thing. I think this year is going to be really, really key to like seeing where the business is going and if it can do that. But we'll see. One thing I do appreciate though is you guys. You guys are incredible. Your support is amazing. And the only reason I'm even having this conversation and saying like maybe I'll make this full time is because of you guys. So thank you so much for making this possible. This is absolutely a dream job of mine, and I absolutely love doing it. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoy the content. It was great to go to SHOT Show this year, because this is the first year that we did like a bunch of meet and greets. So it was cool to like have people come up and like interact with them in person and be able to talk to them, and people tell me like, hey, really love your content. This is why and stuff. So it was really neat to do that. And I love that aspect of it. So thank you guys. I really appreciate the support and everything you guys show me. I would not be able to do this without you. I need to hop off here though, because the live stream usually starts at 10 and it is 10 till 10, so I'm not going to be able to start it on time. But this was going well, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to join the live stream on Rumble and X, I'll be able to actually pull things down. I'll be able to answer those questions that you guys were asking. Unfortunately, I just can't answer all those. I know I missed a lot of questions here. I'm scrolling through chat, and there's a ton. So I apologize if I missed some things. Let me answer this question really quick, because it's the last one I saw. I remember when you were talking about the property and land where you are now in the vault room was strictly bare. You're doing an amazing job. Yeah, man, it's so cool to have people that that have been here from like the start. Like when you guys might have been here when I had all my guns in my parents' basement, because we were in between houses. So we just sold our house, and we were trying to land at perfect timing to where when we sold our house, we move into the brand new house. But building got pushed back because of COVID. So we sold our house and we had to move into our parents. And then we had a lot of issues there because my mom was going through cancer. So her passing and us having a baby there, it was so thankful my family did that for me, but it was just a really tough time. But we had all the guns that are in here in the vault room my parents didn't really have the room for it. So we just had them all laying on the ground in the basement, and trying to do content was really, really difficult because like here I have access to everything. There are things where we had totes still, like for like a year and a half, 2 years, we had things in totes that we just never removed because we thought we were moving to the new house, and the house just kept getting pushed back. So it was a really weird year. So it's cool to see people that like remember that time, like remember us moving in, remember the property when it was completely barren and there's trees, and we spent a year cutting trees down, me and my grandpa and my dad and my brother coming out here every weekend cutting trees down and clearing the property and stuff. So it's really cool to see the people that, started from that position. If you can write off a YouTube channel on taxes and meet your project goals in the same notion, you're doing something right. No, absolutely. That's always the goal. We got a new CPA last year. So we're really trying to like maximize the business and what we're doing. So obviously, that's a lot. I mean, we could do a whole live stream on just talking about that stuff. Like turning this into a business has opened my eyes a ton. Write-offs and how they work with YouTube is interesting, pretty cool. But also you can get yourself hemmed up very easily if you don't have somebody that knows what they're doing. So that's why I hired a CPA that, I had a couple other CPAs. They did a really good job for the time that we were. So like we were small. So the CPA that I had at that time was perfect, did really good. And then we grew, we got bigger, got another CPA. He did a really good job. But once we expanded to that next step, we turned the business into the next level. Like we're no longer an LLC anymore. We're to the next steps of that. So we had to kind of grow as a tax person, needed to have more knowledge and depth and experience, I guess. They had more experience in this. So, we changed from there. So yeah, once you can like figure that whole like tax thing out, I'm not saying that I know it perfectly by any means, but I've learned a ton over the last 3 years. But we could definitely do an entire stream on just that. I am sorry, guys. I see there's a bunch of, can you do some content on Jesus? Absolutely. I try to integrate God and Jesus and my faith into my content. If you're familiar with my content, especially like my live streams and stuff, we talked about them today already in this live stream, but no, God has been incredible in my life. He has blessed me and my family so much. The change he has made in our family has been wild. My wife and I have been together for 14 years now. We have 3 children, and our relationship now is so much better than it's ever been. It was always good. We always had a great relationship, but like the way our faith together and God working in our family has been incredible. Our journey has been pretty cool in the sense that like Kayla originally wanted to be a dentist, and she was gonna do all these things, and like we didn't want kids and all this, and then we started having family and growing our family, and now Kayla's staying home and she's homeschooling, and like it's just really cool to see how God has changed our life, and with him in the center of it and making our family in the way it's supposed to be, like the church, the husband as the leader of the family and making the decisions unselfishly. That's the thing is a lot of people think with the wife being submissive, it's such a negative thing. People are like, that's negative. No, you shouldn't be submissive. You need to be a strong woman and be independent. Yes, my wife is very strong. She's very independent, and she would be just fine by herself. But she trusts me as the leader of the family to make those decisions and those correct decisions unselfishly. When it comes time to make a purchase, I'm not going to make the bad purchase in the fact that I'm going to selfishly buy the Corvette that I want because I want a mid-engine Corvette so bad. If you guys have followed me for a while, you know that I'm obsessed with mid-engine Corvettes, and I'm going to have one eventually. When it's financially lucrative enough, I will have one. But it's here nor there. She knows, though, when I have the money to be able to do that, I'll make the correct decision. And okay, maybe instead of buying a mid-engine Corvette for $80,000, $100,000, maybe we should put that money towards the house. Is that as fun? Is that as fancy? Is that as flashy? No, but it's the mature, correct, unselfish decision. And she trusts that I'll make those things. So she's submissive in that fact that she supports me and allows me to make those decisions. But at the same time, your wife is there to be able to keep you in track as well. She needs to be that strong, religious woman and be able to say, hey, I don't think you're going the right direction, or hey, I don't think you're thinking clearly enough, or hey, they intervene when needed as well. So really seeing God work in our family, and it's crazy because like we were trying to figure it out. We were kind of rocky with it. Like we were like, okay, like I'm the head and she's submissive. We're trying to figure those things out. It's difficult, but as you do it correctly, each person in that relationship falls into place where they're supposed to, which is one of the coolest things that I found. So like, you really try, as a new parent, you just try to figure life out. You're just trying to survive, man. You're trying to keep your head over water. But when you start to live life in that way, you really fall into your roles. So as I've been a better leader and I've grown my faith, Kayla's become a better wife and grown her faith, and she's fallen in her place easier because she knows 100% I'm doing what God wants me to do, and I know that she's doing what God wants her to do. And so we trust each other and we fall into that place better. And then what's been a really cool effect that I didn't anticipate is our children are falling into that role. They've become less whiny. They become getting less trouble. And what I think the reason being is because we're following into those roles, so our children are naturally following into their roles and seeing, okay, this is what it's supposed to, this is what a structure is supposed to look like. So it's been cool. It's just been a really neat journey for us. These last 2 years have been incredible, and I've been really excited. How old are you? I'm 29. About to hit the old 3-0. Ugh, not excited. Nah, God wants you to buy the vet. Yeah, no, 100%. So I bought my Miata. Miata's been a dream car. So the Corvette's a dream car of mine that's like kind of out of my expenses. Like there's no way I can afford a Corvette right now. But like a Mazda Miata has always been like my dream car that I can like legitimately afford, because you can get it for like $4,000 to $10,000 depending on, or you can get a new one for like 30. But it's been like affordable dream. So like when I went to buy my Miata, that took me like months to finally pull the trigger. But like Kayla was like, listen, you've worked for 7 years so hard. You haven't bought yourself anything. Like, buy yourself something you enjoy. So I bought that car, sold it pretty quickly just because like I have 3 kids and I can't drive a two-door car around very much. So I'd sold that, and then I ended up buying my other Miata here. It's a 99 with like 40,000 miles. It's incredibly clean. So I'm probably going to keep that one forever. And when it blows up, I'm going to throw a V8 in it. We're going to engine swap it. But that'll be my kid's car. It'll be really cool. All right, go ahead and get off the live. You'll be on here all day answering the questions. Yeah, you're 100% right, man. I will be here forever. I need to hop off here because I need to finish the live stream setup. If you guys want to continue this live and me answering questions, just jump over to Rumble and X. Once I get this whole thing set up, I gotta take some thumbnails. I gotta get the mixer ready, and we'll get this set up. We're gonna be unboxing a bunch of products. I can pull stuff off the gun walls. This was great. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being here, asking a bunch of questions, being active. That's the best way to do lives. It's kind of, I could sit here for an hour and talk to myself, but it's really nice when you guys are interactive. If you guys enjoy the content, please subscribe, share the content. Hopefully you guys are enjoying all the SHOT Show content. I'm posting a ton of it. I've still got a bunch of videos that are coming out. Do I hunt? Yes, I hunt. But if you want to ask any more questions about that, jump on the live, get rid of the coupe for a Miata. Yeah, no, I got rid of a Miata for another Miata. It didn't make sense, but the new one was way cooler. So I had the 2011 Miata. That one was neat, but like the 99 Miatas are like way more iconic and cool. So I switched and got that one. Super happy with it. Other than that, I'm going to keep answering questions. I'm sorry if I missed your guys' questions. Jump over on my Rumble and X live stream. Should be jumping on here in about a half hour. So I'll see you guys. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you. Oh no, I tried to exit. There we go.